Closure is incredibly painful for a lot of people. And the reason that closure is painful is that it's asking your subconscious mind to let go of what we know to be true and also to accept the fact that the future can be unknown. And that's scary, right? When we think about closure, typically we are envisioning this idea of letting go of things and stepping into the unknown. And as we've talked about in many classes before, when we're looking at the subconscious mind makes up 95% of your mind, right? The other 5% is your logic, your conscious mind. So when we look at the subconscious mind, everything from the moment you're born until today is learned through association. It's learned through experiences that you have. You're not born with a fear of dogs. You learn that through an experience that you have. And an experience doesn't have to be a traumatic one. It can just be, you saw a dog movie and for some reason the dog scared you. They don't always have to be these monumental traumas. They can just be a little one. And little to a child is very different than to an adult, but they stick with us. They hold tight in the subconscious mind. And this is where our behaviors and reactions come from. So, what does the subconscious mind dislike the most? The unknown. And that's scary to us because when we don't know if something's pain or pleasure, we're going to rely on the past to help tell a story, right? So let's look at this idea of telling stories. We want to fill in the gaps. We want to make sense of things. We want everything to be understandable, logical, rational, reasonable, because our subconscious mind, it doesn't care if we're happy. It simply, again, it wants to keep us safe. So if the unknown, we don't know what to expect, right? The first day of school, the first day of a new job, driving to a place we've never been to. We want that certainty. We need certainty to feel comfortable. And so we're going to start telling stories to fill in the gap of what might happen. Now, if you're anyone like me and you have anxiety, um, or worry, you're going to recognize that your anxiety is helpful on some level, right? It's going to help tell a story so that you can be prepared and you can get the information. It's just when we have too much stress that we end up in these overwhelmed zones. But to tell a story is to help make us feel safe. And so when we're working with closure, we really want to help ourselves get grounded in this idea of closure doesn't have to mean having all the answers. That closure can also mean just being okay and internally settled that no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. We're going to figure it out. It's internally knowing that we're moving out of something that no longer serves us. It's quieting the outside noise of what should be and what we wanted it to be, even though the reality is that it might not be. And that's hard because there's a lot of disappointment that comes up for people when we talk about closure. It should have been this. I wanted it really badly. The goal is not to push that down. It's to acknowledge these emotions and these feelings. It's to own them. Because again, I love the analogy. I'm sure you've heard me use it before if you've listened to my stuff. Emotions are like beach balls. When we hold our beach ball and try to push it under the water, and our emotions, when we push it down, it amplifies their energy, right? Like a beach ball, when you try to push it underwater, it resists. It wants to come up. Emotions demand to be heard. You can get on top of the beach ball, but it's going to destabilize you a bit. And when we allow those emotions to be felt, which can be painful, right? We have to learn emotional tolerance. They can finally pass and drift off and leave. And that's powerful, right? When we can internally land. And that's where that whole idea of being really identifying with authenticity of what do I want? What do I feel? What is it that I am experiencing that is true for me, but maybe that's not true for others. And that's going to really help us move through this closure period. Now, how do we identify closure? That's a great question. Closure is a very interesting thing because how do we know we're going through closure right now? Am I in a cycle? I don't know. Is anyone else going through a cycle and feeling a cycle? I know I am. Not sure. I'm not sure. But if we can look at it, it's sort of going, having this recognition of like, I've been trying really hard and it's just not working, or, I can't stop with that. I just have this gut feeling that, it's kind of like when we know there's a red flag, but we kind of turn our blind eye to it because we're like, yeah, well, it's going to get better or something. It's really looking at those red flags in your life, maybe even the yellow ones right now. And also looking for, maybe also to counter that, where are my green flags that of things going right? Where it's like, wait, I don't have to put up with this red stuff. Now, that doesn't mean you just like get up, throw a bomb in your life and walk away, but it's going, I don't like that. Awareness is always the first step in where we're going, right? We have to have an awareness in order to create a change, right? As we raise awareness from the subconscious to the logical mind and the conscious mind, we now have the ability to go, well, now what do I want? And this is where we start to waterfall forward into the future. But closure can be scary. So again, we're wrapping this. Closure, it's painful. It's again stepping into that unknown. But I'm curious if we can reframe closure or if we can give it a metaphor that can feel really beautiful, right? And one of those metaphors is this idea of, look at a tree, right? A tree every season or during the winter is going to drop its leaves, right? It is going through a cycle or a process. And it is going to, one, the leaves are going to change color, become very vibrant, and then they're going to die and they are going to fall away. The tree is then going to go through a process of the winter of survival. And then in the spring, it is going to come back to life in the most beautiful and flourishing way. And then the cycle continues. And if we take that metaphor in this idea of where we live in our life and how life moves, life is not a stagnant line. It is a cycle. Things happen in cycles. And everything leads to growth, right? Now, if you're not growing, you're dying. And we always want to be learning. And so, what is growth? Growth is this idea that we are constantly learning, we are growing, we are experiencing things that are new, giving ourselves the opportunity to learn, giving ourselves the opportunity to take what works and doesn't work and internalize that of, is this something I want to keep? Is this something I want more of? Or is this something I can pass on? It's identifying the belief systems we live by. It's going, how do I want to proceed forward, not how am I supposed to move forward, right? And that's asking us again to look at our belief systems, core values, what's coming up that's holding me back. Right. So when we look at closure, we want to be clear of like, what belief systems am I implementing that are telling me that I need to keep going with something that really isn't working for me? And maybe that's this idea of people pleasing, that I'm supposed to or supposed to do X, Y, and Z because that's what a good person does. Now, that those are the things we want to look at of, what are my core values, belief systems that are really holding me back right now. And let's really inspect if in this area of your life it's serving you, or maybe we just need to reframe it. And those are where our power lies, being genuine and authentic. If I actually really don't like that. Um, and that's okay. It doesn't always mean you have to do anything about it. Just even being able to say, I like it or I don't like it. I can or I can't, or I will or I won't. Remember, that's that anabolic energy of strength and alignment. That's very energy and action promoting in terms of energy levels. Is really landing on, well, what do I want? And it's funny because when I work with a lot of my clients, or even when I'm talking with friends, I'll ask them, it's like, well, hold on, it doesn't, let's pull back, let's go internal for a second. It's like, well, what makes you want to do that? What is it that you want to get out of this? And we have to start there. That is the starting point. You, my wonderful friends, are the center of your universe. So own it. And let's have the world build around you, because you are the sun, you are the light, you are the everything. Let the world work for you, and that doesn't, and the things that are meant for you will come to you, and the things that aren't, it doesn't matter how much you resist it. If it is fated, as sometimes the cosmos can be, then we have to let it go. And so let's talk more. I'm just going to throw the slides back up here. How do I get this back up here? Gone. Oh. Okay. Keys to closure. Here we go. Okay. The keys to closure, acceptance of what has happened, right? We get so stuck on what it should have been, could have been, how it was supposed to go down. We want to listen for that language and then give ourselves permission to accept this is how it was. And can I allow myself permission to feel that and be that in that place? Allow our emotions to come up, right? We are human. You are made with 100 millions of zillions, call it a Googleplex of emotions, all the way from pure joy and bliss to deep depression and sadness. They are all there. Every emotion in between, like the colors of the rainbow, infinite. They're all normal. And it all depends on the experiences that you're having. So allow the experience to give you emotions. What a blessing to be able to feel that way and to then just let them go. It's also about letting go the need for a different outcome. It's again going back to that acceptance cycle of what happened happened. I can't change it. I can complain about it if you need to. Remember, that's part of the process is having an ear for people to chat with, to digest it, to rationalize it. Rationalization is part of a process. And then reclaiming your narrative. Again, we talked about this before as being really genuine and authentic of like, what is the narrative that I want? How do I want to view this? That's empowering, not disempowering. And then it's redirecting your energy, not on the past, but forward to where you want to go. Because action orientation really only happens when we have the energy to back it up, right? When we're in that catabolic energy state, we call it the victim state. Not that you're a victim, but you're at the effect of life and stress. There's stress heavy states or anger and frustration, resentment. Those are not very action packed energies. They usually are going to lead to avoidance or destructive forward momentum energy where it's like, I don't care about anyone else. I only care about me. And so we want to make sure that we can buffer those where it's like, how do we get into the rationalizer state and then start moving forward into this more optimistic, opportunist place of like, everything's happening for me. And if I knew that, how could I how can I begin to move forward in a much more powerful way? And I think that is such a powerful place to be in terms of, I don't think we have to like always drink the Kool-Aid of it's always happening for me and it's wonderful. It can be happening for you and be really terrible. I certainly have worked with a ton of startup people and CEOs and just humans in general where really shitty things happen. And it's from those, again, we go back to that principle of am I growing or am I dying? I am growing, and we grow the most from these pain points. We grow a little from when everything goes great, but it's those real moments of growing pains where we have the opportunity to expand. But that does not mean that it comes without emotions, and the emotions are normal. I think there's been a lot of like, I shouldn't feel this way. So, wanting to give permission, right? And maybe we should add that as number six permission. Permission to know that you can move forward, permission that what you're feeling is okay, permission to let things go, permission to disappoint people, permission, permission, permission. And if you had that permission, what would change for you? Okay, taking a breather here. Now we're going to get into the release. So think about this for a second before we get into hypnosis. To sit with closure can be very easy for some people, but it can also feel like a loss. And if you're feeling right now that you're teetering on this sense of it's a loss, then that's okay. Hold on to that for a minute. We're going to reframe that we're not letting go as we did last week, too. We're not letting go of something that's working. We are letting go of something that is not working, and we're not letting go of it for it to be a finite removal. We're letting go of the energy that is holding it together in a way that is structured poorly, energetically weak. And we're letting it go so that that energy can be used to reformulate and bring things back to life and together. And if that were true, this gives us so much more energy to work with, right? We don't keep things that are broken. Just we want to keep things that function and give us energy, that help us grow. So we're going to work with that today. We're going to work with the visuals of a tree. We might even throw in a beautiful bridge. Um, and I'm curious for you guys, again, like if you didn't have fear, because let's face it, fear is such a thing. Fear is real. Fear keeps us safe. Fear helps us make decisions. Fear can be beautiful. That fear part of us, right? We invite them into the room right now. And if you closed your eyes and you just visualized your fear part here with you, what are they like? How old are they? My fear part is probably about 28, maybe 30 actually. And she's just screaming all over the place. Now, that's an interesting thing when you begin to look at your fear part. Maybe it's not even you, maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your father, maybe it's your brother. But when you look at this fear part, when you begin to identify with them deeply, we want to know what is it that they're trying to help you do? What's the message? And so maybe we need to sit with closure with them too in our visual. Or maybe getting to know them a little bit more can be really helpful. Oh, if I could go back in time with my 30-year-old self. We don't need to go back. We're just going to bring her forward. We're going to show her how life is now and that someone's there to take care of them. So, with that fear part of you, let's love them, let's care for them, let's acknowledge them, and then let's jump in to the hypnosis portion. So, I'm going to take a sip of water and just take a quick little break here. If anyone has any questions, comments, toss them on up there. Um, I know it's a small group today, but a lot of people do watch this in the live stream, so that always makes me happy. And I apologize about touching my hair first all day. They dried my bangs really funny. I just had bangs cut, and they just keep flopping everywhere. So I'm trying to just keep them out of my face. Um, all right. So as we go into the hypnotic state, for anyone who's new to the class, hasn't done hypnosis, hypnosis is in fact the state between awake and sleep. So as you go into the hypnotic state, there are a few things that I'm going to note that you might notice. You might notice your breathing patterns become very shallow. You might notice your eyes fluttering under your eyelids or rolling upward. You can feel them roll upward when you look at that space behind your forehead as if you're opening your mind's third eye. You cannot do hypnosis wrong. And that's a powerful thing to remember because you go through it naturally when you wake up in the morning and also when you fall asleep. So it's a very familiar state. It's not a state where you're out of control or under my control. It's a state where you just have a very focused attention span and everything around you sort of dissipates, right? So you become very in tuned internally. And the way that we become organized with our attention is by using our focus, by focusing on things that I dictate to you. So that's what we're going to do. And there's going to be a point where you might feel like you're going into a fall asleep, because hypnosis is the state between awake and sleep. There's a point where your logical mind keeps going, but I'm not listening to everything she's saying. I'm going to fall asleep if I don't. Let yourself go toward that place where your mind goes from like actively listening to just hearing me in the background. That is the point where you're slipping right on by the subconscious, like the logical mind into the subconscious mind. So go there if you can, allow yourself. And so if you're ready, and I'm ready, um, what I'm going to invite you to do is if you're sitting in a chair, just push your butt all the way back, make sure your back feels supported. You can put your feet flat on the ground. If you're laying down, beautiful. Get to a place where you're comfortable. At any point, if you need to move or shift, that's great. If at any point you hear a thought come pop into your head or something happens in the hallway or sound distracts you, that's okay too. Allow it to move your attention that way and then move it back with me and give yourself, don't worry about it, don't fight it, just allow yourself to come right back into the trance. And that's what we're going to do. All of those things are going to help you just go a little bit deeper, right? We go up and then we go back down even a little deeper. So, everyone get comfortable. Everybody go ahead and close your eyes for me. Everybody, if you feel like it, take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. We start the way we always start, which is having permission to know that in this moment, there is nowhere you need to go. There's nowhere you need to be. And there's nobody wanting or needing anything from you. And if you knew this to be true, you could give yourself and you can give yourself permission to know that you can relax so thoroughly and so deeply and so enjoyably. And what relaxation for the purpose of our work together means. Relaxation means allowing the body to get heavy. It means feeling gravity. The moment you begin to feel gravity pulling you and drawing you down, that is a moment that your body's going to acknowledge that it's okay to let go. We hold tension in our stomach, sometimes our shoulders, our neck, because we have to hold it all together. But wouldn't it be nice to know that right now you can just let gravity hold you? We don't have to fight gravity anymore. We can just acknowledge it and lean into it. We are meant for leaning into succumbing and surrendering to gravity. And so I want you with your eyes closed to just really focus on these very light, gentle breaths that are moving through the nose. And if they're going through the mouth, that's okay too. But I want you to feel how the air can move right into the nose or mouth, up into the center of the forehead, and then blowing it down and away. It's like these wonderful ribbons of air. And we're going to make it flow, this whole feeling of things moving up and then down and away, as if they could gently rock the body. But where I want you to pay special attention or to really just acknowledge the feeling is on the exhale. At each gentle exhale that leaves your body, you're going to feel your body sinking down. And it's these tiny movements, micro movements down, that are going to bring you deeper and deeper and deeper still. Now, another way that we can go deeper as you continue to just allow yourself to sink down is by counting from 5 to 0. Now, I'm going to invite you, because the mind likes numbers, that with each number I go down, to think about your body just collapsing a part of itself. Like the arms could be one. It's like, oh, my arms just turn off. It's like turning off the body more and more, turning down a dial of tension and turning up the heaviness. However, you want to visualize it or feel it. We're going to start at 5. Then we're going to go down to 4. Feel gravity. We're going to go down to 3 and 2 and 1. And finally, when we get to 0, we're just going to turn the whole body off. We're going to feel the stillness begin to move from the top of the head. I want you to just recognize how stillness shows up in your body. How does it show up in your forehead? How does it show up in the neck? about the shoulders, the arms? And I'm curious, is it the left arm or the right arm that feels heavier? And can you move that heaviness, that feeling into the stomach and lower back? That stillness, how do you feel it in the stomach? How about the legs? Can you feel it in the left or the right leg more? And even still, do you feel it in your toes? Do you draw your thoughts all the way down your legs into the tips of your toes? Can you feel a light tingle? Do you feel a warmth? Do you feel a stillness that can begin to spread around you as well? When we think about putting the world on pause and taking this moment and allowing that stillness to grow, can we be in stillness so fully and so completely? And I wonder if you allowed your eyes to gently open, find a spot on the wall, soften your gaze, and then allow the eyes to slowly close. The eyes close, you feel a wave, like a gentle wave moving head to toe. Your next breath bringing you deeper. And as the awareness moves from your toes back up to the eyes, we allow the eyes to open one more time very gently, looking directly ahead of you. And then again, let them close in another wave of calm moving through the body down, down, down to the toes. Mm. And again, we move that wonderful feeling, our awareness up from the toes, up to the center of the forehead, to the eyes, where we allow the eyes to open one more time. And then you let them close, and this is the final time, allowing them to be sealed shut. Permission to go even deeper still, sending that calming wave of stillness down the chest, down the back, through the legs, and finally the soles of the feet. As we allow that stillness to progress, I'd like you to draw your awareness up to the center of your forehead. I'd like you to imagine you could open your mind. And whatever that visual is, however you imagine it, you could allow your thoughts to lift and rise and lift above you. You can allow yourself to engage in that vast openness, a twilighty expanse of infinite possibilities. This infinite expanse of stillness and calm is asking you today to sit calmly and quietly, to enjoy the peace that you have been gifted. Knowing that we are about to close a chapter You can visualize as you sit in the stillness, a book in your lap. You might notice the color, the texture of the book cover. Maybe it's a thick book with many chapters, or maybe a thinner one. But however you visualize it, I'd like you to visualize the cover closed now. Visualize placing your hand on the cover as if you were almost giving it permission and a blessing, a gratitude or appreciation that this is part of your story. It's just part of your story. And what I mean by that is that this chapter or these chapters that we're closing now have led you here. And I'd like you to give permission to yourself to place this book onto the shelf where you keep the other chapters of your life, the other books of your life, of your past. These wonderful stories, maybe painful experiences, all of them part of you. And without any emotion, we allow this to be part of the collection. And now, as we go back to sitting in the quiet, sitting in the calm, allowing the peace to surround you. As you look over to your right, you'll see a new book. Notice the cover. As you open the book to the first page, you see a blank piece of paper. I invite you, with the pen that is now there as well, to write one word of what you'd like this chapter to be about. I'd like you to then turn it to the next blank page and I'd like you to write three emotions you'd like to feel each and every day as you go into this next chapter of your life. Then I'd like you to turn to the next page of one emotion that you would like to show yourself each and every day. And finally, as we turn to the next page, a message that you'd like to give to your inner child and put it on this page. The rest of this book will be written. I'd like you to keep this book on your lap, and I'd like you to follow me and visualize yourself laying by a beautiful river on a perfect day. You are laying under a beautiful tree. And as we lay under this beautiful tree with a beautiful canopy of leaves, we can watch as if without any other emotions than awe and beauty, we can lay under this tree as time elapses, watching this tree go through a beautiful process of letting go of its leaves, how they change color, they become so bright and vibrant, and then how the tree has permission to let go of its leaves, these beauties, this beautiful energy, because it knows what is next. That as we watch each leaf drop and float and drift as if each one falls directly into the river and flows. Nature is so beautiful, so metaphorical, can teach us so much if we allow it to. And as we allow each of these leaves to fall off the tree, we can embrace the winter. This idea of going inward, hunkering in, this idea of preparing for growth and rejuvenation. As we allow the spring to enter in, this beautiful blossoming, the energy of seeds being planted and germinated, all these wonderful things coming to life that have been below the surface. There is certainty in nature that we can trust. Things that were once underground have this incredible strength to push through the earth, to come up from the darkness into the light. The tree sprouting buds and flowers and brightness, soaking in the sun, allowing the energy beginning to circulate. And as you end up back under this beautiful tree, filled with leaves, filled with shade, you sit up under the tree. And in front of this flowing river, you recognize just to the right of you, down just a bit, there's a bridge. We give you permission. We get up We walk down the path to the bridge. We're not sure why or what is encouraging us to stand at the bridge, but we stand there and we look across the bridge and we just know we're meant to cross it. We also have this recognition that we're meant to leave something behind us, something that's maybe been in our back pocket or in the back of your head. You can even throw it into the water and let it dissipate, leave it to the side, let the wind take it away, whatever you'd like to do. But you're ready. You're ready to cross the bridge to this next phase of your life. As if the sun in that moment, you say, yes, I am ready. Yes, I am ready. It's like the sun shines this beautiful beam right to the other side. It's like a rainbow. We always talk about the pot of gold at the other side of a rainbow. The light is shining at the other side of the bridge. We don't know what it is. We just know that's where we're going. We allow our heart to guide us across the bridge, one step at a time. We begin to feel lighter as if the beautiful wind that is blowing across the water can go through your hair, across your skin. It's like a cleansing energy of light, feeling lighter and lighter. You could imagine putting your arms up, feeling the wind as if it could lift you up and you could begin to fly if you wanted to. Take away what no longer serves me, wind. Allow me to be free as you walk step by step. The path feels lighter and easier. It's as if you are just floating across the bridge in the beauty of nature. And as you step off the bridge, you surround yourself in light. People and things that love you so much. Maybe animals are there to cheer you on. Community of support, your highest self, your future self, your past self, all there clapping. We've been waiting for you, they say. We're glad you're here. A glistening light of twinkling glitter glows as it begins to drip from the sky. A magic asking you to understand that you too are magical. You have energy, you have power, an energy that glows off of you. And as you sit here, I give you permission in this visual to just stop. Give yourself permission to just stop, to sit. This is okay. This is good. This feels safe. This is comfortable. You allow this to integrate in over the next day, over this week, integration, post eclipse integration. Let it all begin to structure within you. The permission to have let go, to receive. Your arms can be out as if they are open to receiving the gifts that are meant for you are coming. The energy you exude will bring it to you. And it's with this energy we take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. You find that beautiful book in your lap, the next chapters of your life. Hold it close. And I invite everybody now to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Allow those eyes to open. Take a nice stretch out. Ugh. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. My message to my younger self was very powerful and funny enough, not one that I would have necessarily picked, but the subconscious mind has a way of saying what needs to be said without the logical buffer of what we think it should be. So honor this next chapter. Let the book write itself. Guide it through internal knowing. Find your authentic voice, your authentic wants. Let that all integrate. Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to say no or yes. And just live with what those words are, what you want this next chapter to be, how you want to be, how you want to be. Mine was compassion towards self. Give yourself that permission. Give yourself what you know you need. You're allowed to have needs. And again, thank you everybody for allowing me the opportunity to help you, to shift with you, to support you, to grow with you. It means so much to me. If you are new to this channel, follow me. I'm going to throw up again just like a bit of information about me. Um, This is my YouTube channel, my website, my app, Go Burble. If you want to try it for free for 90 days, when you get to the paywall, you're going to put in that code below. It auto unlocks. We're not going to ask you for a credit card or anything. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. DM me anytime. I love getting messages. A couple of you have emailed me. I'm so happy to hear from you. If there's things that you want to hear more of, let me know. And I will see you next week. Mwah.